how the music scene changed from when we started to where it is now. I remember back in the days, cats be passing around demos on cassettes or acetate, which is what you get to test to see if your song is mastered properly. And it's a heavy vinyl. It's not even vinyl, it's acetate. It's a different material. And after a while, it wears down. You can only get maybe like 20 plays or something out of it. Fast forward to now, it's like cats are passing links around. You upload links. It's like you don't touch anything. It's intangible. The other thing is the more things change, the more things stay the same. There was more independent artists back in the day, and now there's more independent artists again. Like there was the majors in the middle, and now they're gone, and it's just mostly independent releases. I remember 2 tipping points. I mean, I know more tipping points, but I want to talk about these 2 tipping points. One was Kraftwerk, Trans-Europe Express. I remember I was in the yard shooting Skelly with a bunch of my homies, and that record came on, and I saw the older kids get up and start pop locking, like, and dancing like robots. And I heard this like syncopated electronic sound, Trans-Europe Express, and I said, oh, that's it. Music's changed forever. There's hardly any vocals on it. And there's a groove, but it's digital, you know? And I was like, and it's funky. I was like, this is new. This is different from like roller skate disco or funk, you know? And I was like, oh, that's it. I got goosebumps when I said, music has changed forever. Music has changed forever.
Coming from New York, I want to say the curve, probably the first curve I saw is when I heard Sugar Hill Gang on the radio. That was the first one, especially knowing hip hop in the community centers first, and then to hear it on the radio, it's like, oh, okay, that's a big deal. The second curve, probably MTV. When MTV turned the corner and started doing Yo MTV Raps, I thought that was pretty big, because I already felt that, you know, you had your local DJs and everything like that, and that the DJ was the person who was gonna spread the music and the culture around the world. And then you would see the different things on TV, the breaking and so forth. I think MTV was probably the biggest curve I saw coming. Not saw coming, but when it happened, I was like, okay, this is gonna change the game big time.
The other moment that was a tipping point for me was when I heard Run DMC's Sucker MCs. Oh man, I heard some stories from old school cats, graffiti writers that was in the pioneering generation, that was going to the Roxy's. Back then, they were like, man, we was done with hip hop. I was done with it. I hadn't seen all the block party jams and everything. And then we went in the Roxy and they played Sucker MC and the crowd went wild. And we was like, oh, wow. And then there's a third time that happened too. I'm gonna tell you a third one, which was Rakim, Eric B for president. I remember sitting in the back of the car on the way home from my aunt's house and that record came on. And my parents were talking and they put the radio station on by accident. And I came in the door, I said it before, I never let the mic magnetize me no more. And it was just this calm, jazzy voice. Before that, rappers were shouting, but this dude was like laid back. And then there was no chorus. I was like, wow. It just leaped forward again. So there were these moments where it was like something would come out and a lot of records would come out like that, and then it would just go quiet for a while. You would lose interest and then boom, something simple and basic would come out like Sucker MCs and you'd be like, oh wow, that's crazy. You would hear it everywhere and it just put some kind of oomph back in the music, you know, and or Eric B for president. You know, it went quiet again for a while. Then Eric B for president came out and it was like, oh, that's a whole other lane. Here comes another lane, you know. It was always, hip hop was going through that in the golden, that's what made the golden era. Because all the albums that came out in that era kept putting like a boost, a turbo boost, into a quantum leap into hip hop. And that's what people need. People who don't know that era, you need to know when you go back to that era, those were albums that gave people a quantum leap. Jungle Brothers, Kool G Rap, Biz Markie, Eric B, and Rakim. Run DMC's, Sucker MCs, Stetsasonic, Go Stetsa. It's just those records that just made you go manic. You know, Public Enemy, Rebel Without a Pause, Boogie Down Production, The Bridge Is Over in South Bronx. Those records just, by the time it got to that point, it was like the beast expanded and ripped out of its clothes. And then it was like, ugh. Then it was like, okay, hip hop's here forever now. It's here forever. Like, you got the pioneers, then you got the second generation carrying the torch, laying it down, and you can already see where the third generation is gonna come in. It's a beast, you know? It's alive.
So now, I mean, the culture's immortalized almost now. I mean, they're teaching it in schools. So I think the face of hip hop is just gonna probably change again. I think early on, it was real open. You have various artists with different characters. You know, you had like your Coogee Raps, you had your Melly Mel's, your Jungle Brothers and stuff like that. Now it seems it's more like gangster, then you got the ratchet term. I think maybe there's gonna be another face of like maybe more party-based hip-hop that's gonna take over for the next maybe 10 years. And then it's gonna turn around again. It's like rock and roll. It may die down a little bit, but it's not going anywhere. So for the future, I mean, just keep enjoying it. The business of hip hop is definitely going back to the indie labels. I mean, it's already there. The internet is kind of signed, sealed, and delivered that. And then the amount of people that are involved in the music business now, you know, the hip hop industry is fortunate because it has people like us who grew up, watched the explosion of it, and are now delegating jobs and pushing it and making a living of it and just able to teach and show the way, you know, so.
I'm still thinking that's some sound guy or whatever, and he's going, da, 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 and I go, huh? And he just stole on me. Pop and clocked me like right around here. Like he got me good.
You got to school your own. You have to get knowledge of yourself from your own. Racism is rampant and runs deep because nobody seems to know what it is. Everybody was saying that those lyrics were dope, and I'm like, really? Oh, then you ain't heard nothing yet, you know? So, I mean, you know, I always felt like, you know, yeah, when I started taking myself serious at MC, I thought that I had something special for the game.
Creativity is going to change the planet for us. And artists are the ones that's going to lead that.